Live from George Sparky Anderson Field on the campus of California Lutheran University, Saints Baseball on YouTube Live is on the air. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Matt Berner, joined by Nicolette Rojo, and today we bring to you another edition of Saints Baseball as they travel to, as I said, George Sparky Anderson Field in Kowloon. They're traveling to visit the Conejo Oaks. The Saints 20-15 overall, 18-15 in CCL action. They clinched that third playoff spot. The Oaks, on the other hand, 13-22, 10-22 in CCL action. They have been officially eliminated from playoff contention, so this game has no real meaning for either of these two teams other than play some good college summer baseball. So before the first pitch is thrown, let's throw it over to Nicolette Rojo for the starting lineup of the Arroyo Seco Saints.
Thank you, Matt. So starting lineup, leading off is number 2, Anthony Forte, over at right field. Number 20, Morgan Allen, the second baseman. Number 21, Drew Calley, the shortstop. Number 15, Thomas Lovano, the designated hitter. Number 32, Pete Durkay, the first baseman. Number 16, Jason Gonzalez, the third baseman. Number 8, Evan Russell, the left fielder. Number 24, Jacob Wyeth, the catcher. And number 12, Christian Scott at center field.
And that lineup will be facing off against a young man on the mound, Travis Weston, for the Conejo Oaks. His first pitch of the game, and first pitch to Anthony Forte finds the strike zone. 0-1 the count to the right fielder for the Saints. First pitch, 4:38 p.m. here. Now the 0-1. This is low and outside for ball one. Forte watched that one go by. Last night, Forte took an 0-for. He went 0-for-3, but he walked and came around to score in the 6th inning. He scored on the 3-run bomb off of Morgan Allen's bat. Now he swings at the 1-1, fouls this one out of play down the right field line, and the count will move to 1-2. So the Saints today, they're wearing those dark blue jerseys, gold numbers on the back, gold insignia on their left chest. And they've got the gray pants and blue stirrups over white socks, as the 1-2 misses high and inside for ball 2. The Oaks are also wearing dark blue, but they've got white lettering, team name across the chest, a light blue outline of the team name as well, and of course white pants. As the 2-2 misses inside, almost hits Forte, and the count moves to full. Most of the Oaks are wearing their pants all the way down to their ankles. However, Ryan Yamashiro over there at first base gives us a taste of what the Sox look like. Same color as their jerseys, so the dark blue. Full count delivery misses inside. Forte's on board with a leadoff walk. And that'll bring up Morgan Allen, who I just mentioned last night. He broke up the shutout with a 3-run bomb in the 6th inning.
Second baseman, number 20.
Prior to that, the Foresters had a combined perfect game through 5 2/3. Christian Scott broke it up with a double to center field. Then Anthony Forte walked, and then Morgan Allen hit that 3-run shot. So now he'll come up to the plate trying to continue some of that juju. Forte on first base. First pitch from Weston, swung on and fouled out of play down the right field line. Count moves to 0-1. Morgan Allen getting the start at second base today for the Saints. Saints have pretty much locked down their starting infield for the playoffs at this point, with him at second base, Morgan Allen at second base, Drew Calley at short, and then first base is usually either Nick Pagan or Pete Durkay, as the pickoff attempt over there. Forte has him jogging back in safely. And then at third base for the playoffs, I imagine we'll see Jason Gonzalez. However, Tito Robles had a solid game last night. So now the 0-1. Breaking ball finds that outside corner of the plate. Count moves to 0-2.
Even though Gonzalez has been here for the Saints shorter time than Robles, I could see Gonzalez getting the start, but utilizing Robles as a pinch hitter or going back and forth as a defensive rotation later on down the line, vice versa.
Now the 0-2 to Allen. He watches this one go by. It misses just a little bit off the plate for ball 1. Nice weather here on the campus of California Lutheran University. A soft little breeze coming from left to right. If you can see the American flag out there in left center field. Now the 1-2 from Weston, swung on, roped into right center field. This one's going to drop and three-hop the wall. Going over to cut it off is Sandoval in center field. Rounding third and coming towards the plate is Forte. He'll slide in safely. And Morgan Allen drives in the first run of the game. It's 1-0 in favor of the Saints. Still no one out here in the top half of the first inning.
Good piece of hitting by Allen. Decent pitch location, but again, that ball hung up a little too high, and Morgan Allen was able to stay patient with that ball, hit it down the right center field, and with good speed on the base. And Forte got the easy run head first, and no one was hurt either.
Number 21, Drew Cowley.
So that'll bring up his middle infield partner, Drew Cowley. Morgan Allen with that RBI double, standing on second base. Weston still looking for the first out of the game. Cowley swings through this one. It was in the dirt. Count moves to 0-1. Drew Cowley was on the broadcast last night. He and Ray Gardner did a broadcast takeover. They actually wanted to make sure everyone knew they were the broadcasters in line for the win because they were the ones calling the Morgan Allen three-run shot. Foresters never took back the lead after that. The 0-1 to Cowley inside. Almost hits him on the hip. Counts even at 1.
So the broadcaster jinx worked in favor of them this time. Last night.
It was fun to listen to them, too, because Race Gardner, a pitcher, Drew Cowley, an infielder, they were offering different insights as to the mindsets of the players out there as the 1-1s popped high in the air into left field. Coming forward and making the grab is McKinney for out number 1. So that'll bring up Thomas Lovano, the designated hitter for the Saints today. Lovano came into last night's game. For one at-bat, he hit a sac fly to right field, drove in another run. That was the 6th and final run to come home for the Saints. He's got a potential RBI standing out there on second base with Morgan Allen. If you're just joining us, the Saints have a 1-0 lead in the top half of the first inning. Allen hit an RBI double to drive in Forte, who walked to lead things off. Lovano swings through the first pitch. Count moves to 0-1. Weston, the left-hander, taking his time out there on the mound. He'll look back Allen. Checks on him 3 times before a timeout is called by Thomas Lovano at the plate. Now the 0-1 swung on, roped foul down the third base line, and the count moves to 0-2. Lovano, one of the leading hitters in the California Collegiate League. He's currently in 3rd place for batting average, .375 on the season. 36 hits and 96 at-bats as he takes a hack at this one, pops it high in the air. Coming over is the right fielder. He'll make the grab. That's Lucas out there in right field. Advancing to third and tagging up is Morgan Allen. So Lovano flies out to right but moves the runner over. Now let's look at the defensive orientation for the Conejo Oaks today. On the mound is Travis Weston. He'll be pitching to Zach Kamenko behind the plate. Ryan Yamashiro at first base. Tyler Odekirk at second. Gabe Baldovino at shortstop. Then at third base, we're looking at Ramon Gomez. Left field, Trent McKinney. Center field, that's Raul Sandoval. And then in right field, Andrew Lucas. Now Pete Durkee to the plate. Durkee watches the first pitch miss low and outside for ball 1. All 3 Tennessee guys in the starting lineup for the Saints today. Durkee getting the start at first base. Evan Russell in left and Christian Scott starting in center. The 1-0 to Durkee, misses high and outside for ball 2. 2-0. Durkee watches this one find the strike zone, hit that upper inside corner. So the count moves to 2-1. Durkee on the season hitting .327. He's got 18 hits and 55 at-bats. He's also scored 12 runs. He's got 7 extra base hits, 6 of them doubles, 1 of them a home run. Now he steps back up to the plate, 2-1 the count. Weston delivers, Durkee swings, lines this one down the right field line. And it had the distance, but it left the ballpark foul. Durkee arguing that that was a fair ball. He wants to be able to trot around the bags. But I don't think he's winning this argument, as he's going to have to walk back to the plate. Morgan Allen, who came home from third on that, just kind of tossed him his bat. Now will jog back to third base. And head coach Aaron Milam going to go have a chat with the first base umpire, just kind of see whether or not that was a fair or foul ball. You know, I'm pretty sure I'm going to side with the first base umpire here. That ball looked to leave the ballpark foul. It was so high in the air, though, that it was kind of hard to read over the foul pole. But to me, it looked like it was on the right side of the foul pole.
From what I've seen, it looks, you could be right, because I've noticed it looked like it was going to be fair inside the park, but then at last second it started trailing to the right, and it got the the outside of the foul pole, hence it's foul.
Durkee put up a little bit of an argument, but now he's standing at home plate, so he's obviously willing to accept the call. Head coach Aaron Milam heads back to the dugout. Got the explanation he was looking for, and now Durkee back up into the box, 2-2 the count.
Nothing with a little reinsurance.
Durkee swings through this one from Weston. It's in the dirt. Kamenko picks it up and tags him. And now Durkee exchanging some words with Kamenko. He'll head back to the dugout, though, victim of a strikeout, swinging strikeout in the dirt. The Saints put up 1 run. They'll move to the home half of the first inning with a 1-run lead, 1-0 the score. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back for the bottom of the first inning. You listen to Saints Baseball on YouTube Live, the broadcast home of Arroyo Seco Baseball. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the bottom half of the first inning. The Oaks find themselves trailing by 1 run. Andrew Lucas coming to the plate. Let's throw it over to my partner, Nicolette Rojo, for the starting lineup for the Oaks.
So leading off is number 9, Andrew Lucas out of Cal State Northridge, so right field. Number 8, Gabe Baldofino at shortstop. Number 24, Jacob Cashwell, the designated hitter. Number 32, Ryan Yamashiro, first baseman. Number 4, Raul Sandoval over at center field. Number 10, Ramon Gomez, third baseman. Number 7, Zach Kaminkau at catcher. Number 20, Trent McKinney, left fielder. And number 14, Tyler Odekirk, second baseman.
So the first two pitches from Eli Riekman on the mound miss for balls. First one inside, the second one outside. So now the 2-0 from Riekman. Swung on, looping line drive into right field. That'll drop fair. Forte over to field it, and on board with a leadoff single is Andrew Lucas. So that'll bring up Gabe Baldovino, the shortstop for the Oaks.
Gabe Baldovino.
That was just a good piece of hitting from Lucas right there. Coming back for a second season with the Oaks. Like as I mentioned, freshman out of Cal State Northridge, batted .268 with 5 home runs, then 30 runs batting in. Showed he's a good contact hitter.
First pitch to Baldovino, fouled straight back. So the count moves to 0-1. On the mound, Eli Riekman, he's thrown 23 2/3 innings. And he has an ERA of 2.66 this summer. He's 4th on the team. He's only behind Cade Bollinger, Trevor Beer, and Colin King. Colin King ended up leaving, though, halfway through this summer, as the 0-1 misses low and outside for ball one. Saints have been semi-plagued with injuries this summer. 2 more players departed from the team because of injuries, David Reyna and Andy Garriola. 1-1 misses low and inside for ball 2.
Even in summer ball, injuries definitely come back to hurt you. However, the Saints are fortunate to have a good supporting cast. Losing Reyna with good speed on the base and losing Garriola is definitely crucial, but that's when everyone has to step up and play their parts. So far, they've been able to do that.
The 2-1 was lined into center field. Moving over was Christian Scott, and that's out number 1.
Number 24,
It was interesting
Jacob
listening to
Castro.
Race and Drew last night talk about their center fielder and Christian Scott. They only had positive things to say about him. Race said, "It seems like he catches absolutely everything out there." And as a center fielder, that is the ultimate compliment. You know, you're the captain of the outfield out there. You want to make sure you make all the plays. And Scott definitely has made his fair share so far this season. So now the first pitch to the number 3 hitter, Jacob Castro, the designated hitter. Popped up behind the first base bag. Durkee moves back and makes the grab. And that's out number 2.
Number 32, Ryan Yamashiro.
And that'll bring up Ryan Yamashiro, the first baseman for the Oaks. Yamashiro, in the first game against the Saints this season, it was at Jackie Robinson Memorial Field. He left the ballpark to the deepest part of the ballpark. That was left field back at Jackie Robinson Stadium. Excuse me, Jackie Robinson Field, not to be confused with Jackie Robinson Stadium where the UCLA Bruins play.
8 clap.
So first pitch to Yamashiro in the dirt. Moving over and advancing is the runner Andrew Lucas. He'll slide in safely without a throw as Jacob Wyeth was able to keep it in front of him, but not able to get to the ball in time to keep him from moving up. So 1-0 the count to Yamashiro. Riekman, another lefty. 2 lefties starting this game, Weston and him. Delivers a fastball that gets past the bat of Yamashiro, so the count's even at 1. Now the 1-1. Fouled out of play down the right field line, and the count moves to 1-2. Riekman 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning without allowing the leadoff runner to come home. Andrew Lucas singled to lead things off this inning. The 1-2, breaking ball on the outside part of the plate. Wyeth wasn't expecting that. Kind of pops up, communicates to his pitcher, and throws it back. Counts even at 2.
Yeah, it's always important to make sure as a catcher and pitcher to be on the same page with the calls and to ensure no damage is done, etc.
Riekman asks for another sign. He gets it. Now he's set. Lucas taking about 3 steps off the bag. The 2-2 swung on and missed. Breaking ball gets Yamashiro swinging. And after a leadoff single, the next 3 batters are retired. So we'll head to the top half of the second inning. 1-0 the score in favor of the Arroyo Seco Saints. Don't go anywhere. You listen to Saints Baseball on YouTube Live with Matt Berner and Nicolette Rojo, the broadcast home of Arroyo Seco Baseball. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the top half of the second inning. Jason Gonzalez leading things off for the Saints. He got the start at third base today. Gonzalez in those Vanderbilt-colored cleats steps into the box, and immediately throwing the first pitch is Weston, misses low and outside for ball 1. So the Saints have a 1-0 lead. They like to score early and often here at Conejo. The 1-0 finds the strike zone. Gonzalez thought about going around, ended up holding back on it. Probably for the best, as that's a pitch that you roll over towards second base, and that's an easy out. So he holds up. The count moves to 1-1. Last time the Saints were here, they put up 4 in the second inning, on their way to 10 runs in that game. Now the 1-1 to Gonzalez, breaking ball, cuts across the plate for strike 2. Weston, after giving up a walk and a double to start things off in the first inning, seems to have calmed down out there on the field as he gets Gonzalez swinging through the 1-2 breaking ball for out number 1. Back-to-back strikeouts for Weston, one to close the first and one to open the second, and that'll bring up Evan Russell, the left fielder from Tennessee. Russell started the season not hitting the best at the plate. He made the CCL prospect game, and he's brought his average up from about 128 to 217 in the last 2 weeks. Watches his first pitch from Weston today for a strike, breaking ball on the outside part of the plate. So counts 0-1 now. The 0-1 delivery, swung on line deep right center field. Tracking back is Sandoval, and he gets underneath it for out number 2.
Number 24.
So that'll bring up Jacob Wyeth, the catcher. Jacob's first game of the season was the third game of the season, and that happened to take place right here against the Conejo Oaks. In that game, Wyeth ended up going 3 for 5. He had 2 doubles and a single. Swings through the first pitch he sees today, so the count moves to 0-1. This season, Wyeth is hitting .275, 11 hits and 40 at-bats. Swings through the 0-1, breaking the ball off the plate. Count moves to 0-2, and Weston's breaking ball is really starting to fool all these Saints batters. He's made a couple of them swing and miss, and now Wyeth is going to have to be on alert here. The 0-2 swung on, chopped out of play. So Wyeth stays alive.
And coming into today's action, Weston, 29 third innings, only gave up 7 earned runs and struck out 27. So he's shown that he can be very effective on the mound. Lowest ERA on the Oaks.
The 0-2 misses high and inside for ball 1. Wyeth collects his thoughts, takes a deep breath, steps back into the box. The 1-2 from Weston, breaking ball. Wyeth thought about going around, and he did. Cameco picks it up, tags Wyeth out, and for the third strikeout of the game, Weston ends the second inning 1-2-3. So we'll head to the bottom half of the second. Score remains 1-0 in favor of the Saints. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back for that. You listen to Saints Baseball on YouTube Live, the broadcast home of Arroyo Seco Baseball. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the home half of the second inning. Raul Sandoval to lead things off for the Oaks. They trail 1-0 here. Eli Riekman on the mound pitching to Jacob Wyeth. Pete Durkee at first base. Morgan Allen at second. Drew Kelly at short. Jason Gonzalez at third base. Evan Russell in left field. Christian Scott in center. And Anthony Forte in right. First pitch to Sandoval finds the strike zone. Breaking ball touches that inside corner. So the count moves to 0-1. Sandoval, the right-handed center fielder, watches the 0-1 find the strike zone in a similar spot. So the count now 0-2. Sandoval hitting .220 on the season. Fouls off the 0-2, stays alive. As they'll have to go get a new baseball for Riekman. Sandoval has 27 hits and 123 at-bats. The 0-2 misses a little high for ball 1. Wyeth spikes the throw back. Riekman's able to field it, though, and no harm done. The 1-2. Sandoval watches that one miss a little low inside for ball 2. It's now at the count even at 2. Riekman shakes off a couple signs. Now he'll deliver out of the windup. Lined deep left field, tracking back as Russell. He's looking up, reaches up at it, cannot make the grab. Rounding first and heading towards second base is Sandoval, and he's in there with a leadoff stand-up double to start things off in the home half of the second inning. Russell looked like he was going to be able to make the grab there, tracking it back all the way, stuck up his hand, and it just barely went over his glove. So Sandoval on board with a leadoff hit, the second leadoff hit of the game for the Oaks. They led things off in the first inning with a single off the bat of Andrew Lucas. He was left at second base, though. Now Ramon Gomez coming to the plate, shows bunt, lays down a perfect one down the third base line. Riekman picks it up, throws over to first base in time. So they get the out, but Sandoval moves over to third base, and the tying run is 90 feet away from home.
Number 7, Zach Kamenko.
That brings up Zach Kamenko, the catcher for the Oaks. Kamenko, one of the two players in the Oaks starting lineup, not wearing their pants all the way down to their ankles. Showing off some dark blue stirrups with light blue accent stripe and 2 white stripes on top and bottom of it. First pitch to him, breaking ball misses inside for ball 1.
Digging the little classic look here.
I kind of love the fact that stirrups have made a resurgence in baseball, especially here in Summer League baseball, as the 1-0 is delivered. Finds the inside part of the plate for strike 1. Riekman with 1 down here in the second inning. Gave up that leadoff double to Sandoval. He's standing on third base. Wyeth is able to stop this one. Keeps it within reaching distance. Count moves to 2-1. Now the 2-1. Breaking ball breaks too early. Drops a little too low, and now there's 3 balls, 1 strike to Kamenko. Kamenko, the catcher, wearing number 7 for the Oaks. Gets the 3-1, swings chopper over towards third base. Gonzalez fields it, thought about throwing home, ends up collecting and throwing over to first base. So Sandoval comes home to tie this ball game up at 1 apiece, and Kamenko drives in the run with a ground ball out over there to Gonzalez at third base.
Number 20, Trent McKinney.
And that'll bring up Trent McKinney, 2 down here in the home half of the second inning.
That was the right sorry.
Go ahead.
That was the right decision by Gonzalez, because Sandoval was already 3/4 there, and even if you do make a strong throw, you don't want to take a chance hurting your catcher or anything like that. So sometimes, and it's a tie game, again, at this point, good old summer baseball, nothing really to lose for or gain for either team. Just take the safe out.
I was going to say, it is Summer League baseball, so you'll see these teams make safer decisions early in games just because they believe they'll be able to put up some more runs, as the 0-1 to McKinney misses for ball 1. McKinney, the left fielder for the Oaks, wearing number 20. Watches the 1-1 miss inside. Wyeth collects that one and tosses it back, so the count moves to 2-1. The 2-1 finds the inside corner. Counts even at 2. McKinney wasn't sure about that one, kind of thought he was going to get away with that close one. The umpire gives the strike call to Riekman, no, and now the 2-2. Chops right back up the middle, going over towards it, and not able to field it with Cowley and Allen as it squeaks into center field. And getting on board with a 2-out, 2-strike single is Trent McKinney.
Number 14, Tyler Oatkirk.
And that'll bring up Tyler Oatkirk. Oatkirk, the second baseman, wearing number 14. Been a consistent part of this Oaks lineup all season long. He's batting .250 on the year, 29 hits in 116 at-bats. Shows bunt on the first pitch. Wyeth throws down to second base. The tag is applied, and it's in time as Allen flips the ball back towards the mound. Trent McKinney thrown out trying to steal second base, and that'll bring about the end of the second inning. The Oaks tie it up, though, thanks to an RBI off the bat of Zach Kamenko after Raul Sandoval led things off with a leadoff double. So we'll head to the top half of the third inning, score one apiece. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back for that. You listen to Saints Baseball on YouTube Live, the broadcast home of Arroyo Seco Baseball. Christian Scott to lead things off for the Saints here in the top half of the third inning. Scores one apiece as he steps into the box. Weston still on the mound for the Oaks. Delivers the first pitch to him. Scott thought about going around, and they say he did. I'm not entirely sure that Scott actually crossed the plane with his bat there, but they say he did. Now he'll swing at the 0-1. Ropes it into left field. Coming forward and making the grab, though, is McKinney, and that's out number one. So now Anthony Forte coming to the plate. He walked in his first plate appearance. That was in the first inning. Forced a full count, and then the 3-2 pitch missed outside for ball four. We'll see what he can do here with one down in the third inning. He came home to score in the first. He is the only run on the board for the Saints so far. First pitch to him. He takes it on the inside corner for strike one. The 0-1 popped up in the air straight up and right by our table. If I had longer arms, I would have been able to make the grab. So the count moves to 0-2.
And I totally ducked from that. We are just fine, though.
Honestly, you might have had a chance of making the catch.
I lost track of it because, yeah, why not? I probably could have caught it.
The 0-2 misses low and outside for ball one. The closest a foul ball has come to hitting us all season long. As the 1-2 is taken on the inside corner, Forte watches that go by for strike three. And now there's two down in the third inning.
Number 20, Morgan Allen.
So Morgan Allen, the second baseman for the Saints, wearing number 20, steps up to the plate. His first at-bat was an RBI double. He missed a significant part of the season due to an injury. I believe it was an injury to his hand.
Yeah.
He was finally cleared to play last weekend. And since then, he's been on a tear at the plate. First pitch swinging, he lines this one into the Saints dugout. Thomas McCarthy ran away from that one, and now he'll head back to his spot on the bench. Count is 0-1 now to the second baseman. Weston shaking off a couple of signs. The 0-1. Allen watches this one find the strike zone. Hit that top corner. So the count is 0-2.
I wouldn't be shocked if Weston went back with the breaking ball. That's been working so far this game.
The 0-2 delivery. Breaking ball in the dirt. Too low to get a swing out of Allen, so the count moves to 1-2. The 1-2 Weston delivers too far outside. Now the count's even. I mentioned Allen on a tear. He's hitting .346 this season. Well, he was coming into this game at least. He added on to that with his double in the first inning. He watches the 2-2 miss low and inside for ball 3. So he's worked the count full. Now the payoff pitch. Weston delivers. Breaking ball chopped over towards shortstop. Baldovino fields it, throws over to first in time to throw out the speedy Morgan Allen, and that's 3 up, 3 down for the second straight inning for the Saints. As we'll head to the home half of the third inning, scores tied 1 apiece. Don't go anywhere, I'll be right back for that. You're listening to Saints Baseball on YouTube Live, the broadcast home of Arroyo Seco Baseball. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Tyler Oudkirk gets another chance here. Shows bunt at the first pitch and lays it down foul down the third base line. Gonzalez collects it and throws it back to Riekman on the mound. Oudkirk was at the plate when the inning ended last inning. McKinney took off for second base. Wyeth gunned him down. So now with an 0-1 count, Oudkirk steps back into the box. Watches the 0-1 go by, a little high for ball 1. The Oaks have had 4 official batters in each inning. And in both innings, they've had a leadoff hit. In the first, it was a leadoff single off the bat of Andrew Lucas. And in the second, a leadoff double off the bat of Raul Sandoval. Sandoval came around to score. That's their only run of the game as it's tied 1 apiece. The 1-1 found the strike zone. Now the 1-2 from Riekman. Lined to right field, tracking back is Forte. He'll get underneath it and make the play for out number 1. And that is the first time the leadoff batter has not reached base for the Oaks.
Number 9, Andrew Lucas.
So now Andrew Lucas to the plate. Lucas out of Cal State Northridge. He was on the Oaks last year, but that was right out of high school. He had just finished his senior season. Now he's got a year of college baseball under his belt. Steps back into the box and watches the first pitch from Riekman miss for ball 1. He had a 2-0 count when he hit that single in the first inning. Now he swings at the 1-0, pops it high in the air. Durkee going back behind the bag. Back steps and is unable to make the grab. As that one gets away from him, he'll jog back over towards the bullpen and now head back towards the infield, a little frustrated as the ball drops in foul territory and the count's even at 1.
Those are just tough plays right there. A little bit of a wind, sun out, sun's pretty strong. Sometimes you just can't. Luckily, it was only in foul territory, so not really damage there done. Just it's unfortunate. Sometimes, again, can't really do much.
1-1, fouled out of play down the right field line, so the count moves to 1-2. Yeah, that play is usually not the first baseman's play. You know, if it's closer to the bag, then it's all his, but he had to make quite a trip over there into foul territory. You usually will see the second baseman come over and try and make that grab. It's a little bit easier of an angle for the second baseman. Either way, Durkee unable to come up with the fly ball. The 1-2 gets past Jacob Wyeth. The count's even at 2 apiece now. Gabe Baldovino jogging over in front of the camera to pick up the foul ball, or excuse me, the pass ball. Now the 2-2. Swung on and missed, and Riekman sends Lucas down swinging.
Number 8,
And now Gabe Baldovino will come up to the plate. Picks up some dirt, rubs it on his bat, and now will step up into the box. First pitch from Riekman. Lined foul out of play down the right field line towards the pool across the street from this field. Sure hope that didn't hit my car. I parked over there. Now the 0-1 in the dirt. Wyeth collects, throws it back to Riekman as the count's even.
Does your car have an alarm settings or no?
It does, so we would have heard it.
Okay, chilling.
The 1-1 fastball right down the middle practically as the count moves to 1-2. Baldovino obviously not expecting the fastball there. Now the 1-2. Breaking ball sailed all the way to the backstop. Wyeth showing a little bit of frustration with his pitcher. Tosses the ball back to him as the count's even at 2 now. That's the third time to my count that Riekman has completely missed Wyeth behind the plate. And this time he misses high and outside for ball 3, so the count is full. Baldovino working the count full after being down 1-2. Full count lined into left center field. Coming forward is Scott. He's unable to make the grab as it skips past him all the way to the wall. Rounding first, now rounding second and heading for third is Baldovino. He'll be in there standing with a 2-out triple on a full count delivery.
The instant that Baldovino hit it, you knew it was going to be some sort of damage, but with the speed of Christian Scott, did a good job charging that, but charged a little bit too quickly as that ball got right by him, so allowed Baldovino to easily reach third base, jogging.
And I just got the confirmation from our statistics guy over there. He's sitting in the bleachers to our right. Ryan Winters on the stats today. I asked him whether or not they were going to for sure give him the triple or not. He wanted to confirm with me. I decided it was a triple, and he agreed because Scott was unable to touch the ball, let it skip by him. So the triple goes to Baldovino. Now it's a 1-0 count to Jacob Castro, who swings and rolls this one past the Saints dugout to even the count. So Riekman unable to get through a clean inning so far. It's been the leadoff man the first 2 innings, this time with 2 down and 2 strikes. Baldovino hit the triple. Now the 1-1 on that outside corner. Castro does nothing but smile as strike 2 is called. Riekman the lefty. delivers, and it's chopped foul down the first base line once again. This one rolling all the way to the bullpen of the Saints. Drew Atherton out there was standing, rubbing his hands, excited about that baseball coming his way, and now he'll roll it on over towards the Saints dugout.
Little bowling action going there. Bowling stance.
1-2, breaking ball high and inside. Missed the face of Castro by probably about 4 or 5 inches. The count's even at 2. Riekman, the 2-2, line towards the second baseman. Morgan Allen reaches up, makes the grab, and that is out number 3. So an L4 to bring about the end of the third inning. Score remains tied 1 apiece as we'll head to the top half of the 4th inning. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back for that. You're listening to Saints Baseball on YouTube Live, the broadcast home of Arroyo Seco Baseball. Drew Cowley to lead things off for the Saints here in the top half of the 4th inning. He steps up to the plate. Weston still on the mound for the Oaks. First pitch from him. Breaking ball on the inside corner finds the strike zone, so the count moves to 0-1. Cowley flew out to left field in his first at-bat. That was in the 1st inning. Now he's getting a second chance here. 0-1, grounder towards second base. Odekirk fields it cleanly, throws over to first in time for out number 1. So that'll bring up Thomas Lovano. Lovano flew out to right field in the 1st inning.
Number 15, Thomas Lovano.
The man who's going to be playing baseball for the University of San Diego next season will step up to the plate here. There was a stoppage in play as the home plate umpire wanted a weighted donut moved off the field of play over by the Oaks dugout. Now the first pitch to Lovano from Weston swung on and missed. Breaking ball on that outside part of the plate. Weston started off strong using that breaking ball. Then he went back to the fastball last inning. The fastball was getting the job done. Now we see him going back to the breaking pitch. Weston, the 0-1, fastball loped right at the third baseman. Jumping up and making the grab is Gomez, and that is out number 2. So Pete Durkee will come to the plate. He missed a home run by a couple feet and not short of the fence. He was more or less right of the foul pole. He definitely had the distance to leave the ballpark. However, it was hit over the foul pole, and the first base umpire deemed it foul. Next pitch, he swung through one in the dirt, was tagged out, had some words for Kevin Coe behind the plate. Now he's getting another chance here. First pitch he sees in this at-bat, misses high and outside for ball 1. The Saints have a 9-8 record on the road this season. As the 1-0 is taken for a strike, counts even. 9-8 on the road, 11-7 at home. So both records above 500. As for the Oaks, they're 8-12 at home. But that is still better than their 5-10 record on the road, as the 1-1 is chopped foul down the left field line. And a member of the crowd offering his opinion on that one shouts out, "That's foul," reminding Durkee of his near home run in the first inning. The 1-2 to Durkee. Hits him on the leg. He'll walk down and he'll get a free base out of that one.
Here we go.
So that'll bring up Jason Gonzalez. That is the first base runner
Number 16,
since no
Jason
outs
Gonzalez.
in the first inning. Prior to that, 11 straight Saints had been retired. A similar streak happened the last time these two teams faced off here in Conejo. As the Saints, they put up 10 runs and then they had 12 straight guys retired after that. So now the first pitch to Gonzalez, he watches this one miss low and outside for ball one. Gonzalez struck out swinging in his first at-bat. That was to lead things off in the second inning. He had a 1-2 count when he swung through the breaking ball.
So far, Gonzalez has overall had success with 2 outs and is known to kind of like spark things up for the Saints, bringing that energy and that experience as a College World Series championship to the Saints.
I'm glad you brought that up. I've talked about it pretty much every time he's come to the plate. The man from Vanderbilt has a national championship under his belt. Now he's got a 2-0 count as there's a pickoff attempt over towards first base. Durkee back in there standing safely. But up until a couple weeks ago,
Here we go.
Gonzalez was still competing for his school. 2-0 misses high and outside for ball 3. And Gonzalez 1 pitch away from drawing a walk, and it would be the second straight free bag handed out by Weston on the mound. .3-0 swung on and missed, so the count moves to 3-1. Now 3-1 from Weston. Gonzalez lines this one foul down the right field line, well out of play, and that one once again heading towards my car. That actually might be the perfect angle to hit my car. So everybody listen for some alarm noises. I don't think I hear any, so I think we're good.
I don't hear any either.
Either way, Gonzalez forcing a full count after having a 3-0 count. Steps back into the box. 3-2, 2 down, runner on first. Weston delivers. Gonzalez watches that go by, misses outside. Appeal down to the first base umpire. He says he did not go around. So that is a walk on a full count delivery, and now runners on first and
Number
second
8,
for Evan Russell, who flew out to center field in his first at-bat, and that was in the second inning. We're here in the top half of the fourth inning. As I mentioned, 2 down, 2 runners on. We might be seeing a pitching change or could just be a mound visit. There is action going on right now in the Oaks bullpen. As of right now, it looks like it's just a quick little mound visit to have a chat. Up in the Oaks bullpen is Aiden Dolan, the redshirt junior, right-handed pitcher. He's going to stay over there in the bullpen as Weston will remain in the game. Kamenko will head back to behind the plate. Once again, there's 2 down here in the top half of the fourth inning. Score is tied 1 apiece. Saints have a runner in scoring position, though. Chance to bring him home as Evan Russell comes to the plate. Durkee standing on second, Gonzalez on first. Weston delivers the first pitch to Russell. He watches it go by for a strike. As I mentioned prior to these last two batters, Weston had retired 11 straight Saints. So he had found a little bit of a groove. Now he's struggling a little bit. Hasn't given up a hit yet this inning, but has two runners on, and the 0-1 gets a check swing from Russell. They say he went around, so the count moves to 0-2. Breaking ball in the dirt. Russell couldn't help himself, had to take a hack at it. Travis Weston on the mound. He's a sophomore from Ventura College.
Wouldn't be shocked if Weston went back with the breaking ball.
The 0-2 breaking ball misses just a little low and outside for ball one. The Oaks 10-22 overall. They are 2.5 games better than the last place team. The Barons 8-25 overall. They'll try and hold on to this fifth spot. Russell swings through the 1-2. He'll go down swinging. And despite two runners on, the Saints can't bring any of them home. We'll head to the home half of the fourth inning. 1-1 is the score. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back for that. You listen to Saints Baseball on YouTube Live, the broadcast home of Arroyo Seco Baseball. Ryan Yamashiro leading things off for the Oaks here in the home half of the fourth inning. His team tied things up in the second. And the score has remained tied as he steps up to the plate. Eli Reekman still on the mound for the Saints. First pitch swinging as Yamashiro breaks his bat. It will die right in front of the center fielder, Christian Scott, who has it pop out of his glove, but he's able to secure it, toss it back into the infield. And Yamashiro's on board with a first pitch single.
Number 4,
As
Raul
Raul
Sandoval.
Sandoval will come up to the plate with a runner on and no one down here in the home half of the fourth inning. Once again, Reekman struggling to get out the leadoff batter. 3 of the 4 leadoff men to come to the plate for the Oaks have reached base. All 3 of those that have reached base have done so in fashion of a hit. 2 singles, 1 double. The double was Raul Sandoval, who's at the plate now. First pitch to Sandoval in his second at-bat finds a strike zone on the outside corner. So 0-1 is the count.
The good thing about all this is, it's like we both mentioned throughout the broadcast, it's summer ball in a meaningless game for both sides. So for Reekman, who actually just committed to Texas Tech University, Red Raiders, want to give him that, put in a little bit more work, one potential final outing before, or start I should say, before summer season ends, adjusting from a junior college to D1.
The 0-2 chopped right back up the middle. Diving is Allen. He tries to toss it towards Cowley at second base, and it gets away from Cowley. Allen had to lay out to make the play. Now he's a little shaken up. Slow to get up, and he'll actually stay out there on the ground. Head coach Aaron Milam's going to take a quick jog out there to see if he's okay. It was a really tough play for Allen to make. You can tell how tight this Saints team is. Pretty much everyone in the field has gone over to check out the second baseman, make sure he's okay. He has missed time due to injury so far this season, but that was a hand injury, not a leg injury or anything. He's shaking his right hip a little bit.
And it looked like as he dove for that ball, landed hard on that hip, and a good effort too, the backhanded glove throw, but just missed.
So they keep checking him out. It looks like he's going to be okay, though,
Number 10, Ramon
as he'll remain
Gomez.
in this game. Good job keeping the ball in the infield. If that ball gets past him and into the outfield, Yamashiro standing on third base. But with an infield single on 2 strikes, Royal Sandoval now moves to 2 for 2 on the day, and that'll bring up Ramon Gomez, the third baseman. He grounded out straight back to Riekman in his last at-bat. That was in the second inning. He shows bunt, pops this one over the screen behind him, and the count moved 0-1. Yamashiro getting the sign down there at second base. Still no one out here in the home half of the 4th inning. The Saints had 2 men on in the top half of this inning. Couldn't bring them home, though. Now the 0-1 from Riekman showing bunt once again. Pops it high in the air, coming forward and making the grab is Gonzalez. No one covering third base. Riekman sprints over there to make sure he's there. Yamashiro is going to have to stay at second base as out number 1 is recorded on a popped-up bunt caught by the third baseman, Jason Gonzalez. That'll bring up Zach Kamenko with 1 down here. Kamenko grounded out to Gonzalez in the second inning. That ground out brought home Raul Sandoval.
That was good awareness by Gonzalez, sprinting to catch that popper, and also good credit to Riekman for hustling over to third in case the runner at second and Yamashiro doesn't advance.
So the first pitch into Kamenko finds the strike zone. 0-1 the count. Scoreboard says 0-2, but I believe it is 0-1, and the umpire confirms it there. Kamenko taking his time, steps back into the box, points his bat straight out in front of him. And now Riekman delivers. 0-1 rolled over towards Gonzalez at third, throws over to second. Allen collects, throws over to first. Durkee has to jump to make the play and is unable to land on the bag in time. So they get the out at second base. The throw just a little too high to Durkee. Either way, 2 down now. Runners on the corners as Kamenko reaches on a fielder's choice. And Yamashiro advances to third base.
Number 20, Trent McKinney.
That'll bring up Trent McKinney with 2 down here. McKinney singled with 2 strikes in the second inning. Was thrown out trying to steal second base, though. Wyeth popped up and gunned him down. If he finds a way to move his stat line to 2 for 2 on the day, he will bring home a run. First pitch to him. Swings, pops it high in the air behind the bag at first base. It sails into right field. Forte comes forward and makes the grab, and that's out number 3. So the Oaks threaten, but leave 2 runners on. They leave Yamashiro on third and Kamenko on first base. We'll head to the top half of the 5th inning. Score remains tied 1 apiece. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back for that. You're listening to Saints Baseball on YouTube Live, the broadcast home of Arroyo Seco Baseball. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the top half of the 5th inning. Jacob Wyeth to lead things off for the Saints. He struck out swinging in his first at-bat. That was in the 2nd inning. Score remains tied 1 apiece. Saints only have 1 hit on the day. As Wyeth grounds this one over towards third, Gomez collects, throws across the diamond in time for out number 1. So as I mentioned, the Saints only have 1 hit on the day. It came off the bat of Morgan Allen in the 1st inning with no one out. Drove home their only run, which was Anthony Forte, who had walked prior to that double. The Oaks, on the other hand, have 6 hits to their name. They 1 run on 6 hits. Threatened a few times now on Reekman, as Christian Scott will step back up to the plate for the 2nd time this evening. He lined out to left field in his first appearance. Now he pops this one high in the air behind the bag over there at third base. Charging back and making the grab is Gomez. Scott can't do anything but hang his head and slowly walk back towards the dugout. Fantastic play by Gomez, tracking back and making the grab that time. So now 2 down on 2 pitches. Anthony Forte will come to the plate. He is 0 for 1 on the day with a walk. He struck out looking in the 3rd inning. That's his only official at-bat. 3rd plate appearance, though, in the 5th inning. New pitcher on the mound, by the way, Aiden Dolan, wearing number 21. First pitch to Forte is in the dirt for ball 1. Dolan coming into the game means Weston's done for the night. He pitched 4 innings, gave up 1 hit, 1 run, it was earned. 2 walks and a hit by pitch with 5 strikeouts. Now the 1-0 from Dolan. Misses low once again, so the count's 2-0. Interesting how aggressive Dolan was at Wyeth and Scott. Got those 1-pitch outs. Now pitching around Forte. 2-0 line to right field. Standing still, taking 2 steps over to his right, though, is Lucas. And that's out number 3. So 1-2-3, 5th inning. We'll head to the bottom half of the 5th inning. When we return, Nicolette Rojo will have taken over on play-by-play duties, so make sure you stick around for that. Don't go anywhere. You'll listen to Saints Baseball on YouTube Live, the broadcast home of Arroyo Seco Baseball.
Bottom of the 5th inning here. Score remains tied at 1-1. New pitcher on the mound for the Saints, number 31, Trevor Davis, out of Cornell University. He will face Odekirk, Lucas, and Baldovino. And as the first pitch to Odekirk, misses in the dirt, 1-0. Odekirk flew out to right field in his first at-bat. Gets that outside corner for a strike. 1-1. Actually, it was inside corner, so my correction. So that means Eli Riekman's evening is done. He went 4 innings. Gave up 6 hits, 1 run, no walks, 2 strikeouts. As Oderkirk will reach the infield single.
Number 9.
That's a
Andrew
perfect bunt
Lucas.
laid down by Oderkirk. Just out of sprinting distance of Gonzalez, who had to charge forward, pick it up, and then ultimately had to eat it over there at third base as Oderkirk can run. So another leadoff man aboard for the Oaks.
Brings things up for Andrew Lucas at top of the order for the Oaks. 1 for 2 at the single and struck out in his last at-bat. Hits that to left field, but Russell is right there. Takes 1 step. 1 down.
Number 8, Gabe Baldovino.
Gabe Baldovino will step in now for the Oaks. 1 for 2 with a flyout and a triple in his last time up. Davis has only pitched 1 inning this season. Gave up 2 runs. Struck out 3, walked 2. Misses that one low, ball 1. During Davis's sophomore year campaign at Cornell, he posted a 4.96 ERA, struck out 18 in 16 innings. Had a career high of 4 strikeouts against the April 13th matchup against Harvard. Falls behind here 2-0. Delivery misses way high. 3-0 Baldovino had to bend backwards just a tad bit.
And Davis has really struggled with his command issues so far this inning.
3-0 delivery. Gets in there right at the knees for a strike. 3-1. Good hitters count here for Baldovino. Oderkirk thought about going, and that ball is deep to left field. Back at the wall. See ya later. That ball is out. A 2-run blast by Baldovino, who just tripled in his last at-bat to break the tie for the Oaks. Now lead 3-1.
Well, he got exactly the pitch he was waiting for, put everything into it. Charges that one over the 2017 NCAA Division III National Champions sign that's hanging out there in left field. Russell had nothing to do but look up at it. The Oaks have their first lead of the game.
Brings things up for Jacob Castro, the designated hitter. 0 for 2 with the pop-out and a line-out in his last at-bat. First pitch to him misses high and away, 1-0. The 1-0 delivery. That ball is down the right field line at the wall, the warning track. And that ball is gone. Forte will take a little climb. This time, another shot for the Oaks. Back-to-back bombs. Now the lead is 4-1.
Well, when you have a guy on the mound who can throw hard like Trevor Davis, all you really have to do is put a good swing on the ball, and we've seen back-to-back good swings leave the ballpark.
Brings things up for Ryan Yamashiro. 1 for 2 with the strikeout and a single. So Trevor Davis struggling to get out of this inning, giving back-to-back bombs after Oderkirk reached on a single and Lucas flied out to left. First pitch to Yamashiro's in there for a strike, 0-1. Yamashiro hits that to left. Russell is there, takes 2 steps to his right. 2 down.
Yet another hard hit ball, though. So Davis really struggling to fool the batters for the Oaks.
Number 4, Raul Sandoval.
So Raul Sandoval, the center fielder, will step in. 2 for 2 with a double and a single. First pitch is in there for a strike. 0-1. Due up for the Saints at the top of the 6th inning is Morgan Allen, Drew Cali, and Thomas Lovano. The 0-1 in the dirt. Evens the count of 1-1. Did not even reach home plate. The 1-1 delivery. Checks the swing. Does go around. First base umpire confirmed the call. Davis in the head, in count. Ahead in the count at 1-2. One-two pitch. Got him swinging with the breaking ball, and that will do it. But the Oaks break the tie after off back-to-back home runs from Baldovino and Castro. We will head to the top of the 6th inning with the Oaks now in the lead, 4-1. You're watching YouTube Live, the official broadcasting network of Arroyo Seco Baseball. Top of the 6th inning here. If you're just tuning in, the Oaks have taken the lead here 4-1 after a tied ball game, heading into the the bottom of the 5th inning, where the Oaks broke the tie with back-to-back bombs from Gabe Baldovino, a 2-run shot, and a solo shot from Jacob Castro. As first pitch to Morgan Allen misses low. We have a special guest here with us, head coach and general manager Aaron Milam. Coach, welcome.
Thank you.
So your general, as Morgan Allen takes that one low, 1-1. So coming into this season, general manager, why did you decide to step in as head coach?
Well, I coached the team for 12 years, and when we moved into the CCL, I needed to come off for a little while. There was some stuff we had to take care of. Namely, we had to get housing set up. We had to buy a bus. We had to get fundraising model changed to be able to compete at this level. The budget that we were running before wasn't going to allow us to do this. So I came off really to get operations in the right place and myself and Nick and Tommy, and it seems like they had it under control, and I was itching to get back on the field, and so this seemed like the right year to do it.
As Morgan Allen popped up too, Ryan Yamashiro for the first out. Drew Cali will step in 0 for 2 with a flyout and a ground out to second his last at bat. So describe your recruiting process on the season. How do you how did you get all these guys from across the country aside from the Californians?
Most of them are sent by their coaches, and it's really about network. You pick up the phone and make a few calls and send some emails, guys that you know. I benefit from the fact that I coach college baseball during the season. I'm able to see some guys out on the recruiting trail and talk to them about their players. And, other than that, the league sells itself quite a bit. This is the California League, and kids from around the country want to come spend the summer in California. So that helps us a lot. But, the longer you do it and the more you do it, the more you're going to be known and the more people are going to send you. So, we're reaping some of the benefits of being around for a few years, and I think we're only going to get better.
As Drew Cali hits a line shot up the middle and will reach on a single, brings things up for Thomas Lovano, who is over 2 with a fly out and a line out. So the Oaks are now up 4-1. In the scenario of this, what would you tell your starting lineup?
Well, we just told them, stay loose. That's the name of summer baseball, stay loose. You can't get tight. There's not a pitcher in this league that's going to throw 9, and no one's going to throw 100 plus. So, and pitches at that matter. I'm not talking about miles per hour, but no one's going to go more than 100 pitches. So, obviously we're going to get to the bullpen. In the collegiate game during the school year, the name of the game is to get to the bullpen and try to outlast the starter. The game's a little bit different here, just because we know we're going to get to the bullpen. So at what point do we get to them? Staying loose is probably the major key here. This is a good team. It's a good hitting team. We've been doing that all year, so I'm not really worried about it.
1-0 count to Lovano. Coming into the summer, you just mentioned that you coach outside of the summer. What are some things that you look to build up on as a coach coming into Summer League?
Well, I'm an assistant coach during the year. I'm the pitching coach at Occidental College, and stepping on the field here, it's a different role, obviously. I'm the head coach here, and the transition, it's a little bit different, but it's still baseball. I was a high school head coach for a while, and I always said you get to do less coaching as a head coach. You're worried more about operations and more about everything that the kids are doing and schedules and where they're at, and worrying about health and so forth. So there's some other elements that come into play. At the end of the day, it's still baseball. The only difference is that I'm making a lineup now, as opposed to just looking at a pitching rotation and figuring out who's going to go. We've got some really good help, and so as far as our staff goes, so they're able to take on a lot of that, and you give me a breather there. But for the most part, again, it's still baseball.
2-1 delivery. Cali's on the move, and Lovano drives that to right field. That ball is going, and that hits off the wall just below the yellow barrier. Cali will easily score. Lovano will easily reach second for a RBI double. Score now 4-2 in favor of the Oaks. Brings things up for Pete Durkee, who is 0 for 1 with a strikeout and was hit by a pitch in his last plate appearance. Favorite highlight of the summer? What do you enjoy best about coaching in the summer league?
Probably what I enjoy most is the relationships with the kids. Well, they're not kids anymore. These guys are adults, but I just have a bad habit of still calling them kids. The relationship, that's what summer baseball is about. During the school year, obviously, we've got 6 months to get them ready, and guys are there for 4 years. They have a chance to prescribe to our process, and we have expectations of them, and they know what to do and to meet those expectations. But here in the summer, you get them right away, and you don't have a process for to build on as a foundation. So, these guys are all highly touted players, and you got to work on the relationship, right? The relationship goes first, because once the relationship is comfortable, then they'll start listening to you. So, the development of that process is probably the most important part to me, and it's probably the part that I like the most. You get to know these kids real quick. The first thing that we tell them when they get here is, hey, before you know it, you're going to be gone, and this is 8 weeks. We're going to do everything together. We're going to spend almost every day together. It's like a family, right? You love together, you fight together, you go through everything. And I told them the first week there, we took 2, dropped 2, and after that first week, it's we're going to fly together and we're going to die together. So however you guys do, we do, and so we're pulling for you. And again, it's part of the relationship building there. But I think that's probably the most important part there is getting them to trust you and believe you. And not only is it important, but it's my favorite, so that's what I'll give you.
As Pete Durkay ground out over 2 second, but will advance. Lovano, who is 90 feet away
Gonzalez.
from home plate, brings things up for Jason Gonzalez, who struck out and walked in his last appearance. So with the end of with 2 games after today, or technically, I guess 2 1/3 with the continuation of the Santa Barbara game on Tuesday. So a semi-doubleheader. What is your mindset going into the playoffs later this week?
Well, with Tuesday, we're going to finish the 8th and 9th inning against Santa Barbara from that game that was halted due to time. Then we're going to play our last game of the season, and the only thing you can tell them is to stay sharp and make sure their reps are going. At this point, the postseason standings and the seedings are already decided. We know we're going to play Orange County here on Thursday. So while a lot of people would claim to say, well, Tuesday's game doesn't matter. I mean, it's a baseball game and all games matter. But the important part is that they're getting their reps. They're still seeing pitches. They're getting their swings. These guys have played 6 games a week for the past 8 weeks. Because of that, I mean, you start taking a couple of days off, you start getting sleepy. I mean, that'll carry into Thursday, and that's the part that we're worried about. Worry is probably the wrong word there. We're more just concerned that their reps are going to stay up. We're gonna make sure that they're still getting their reps. If we got to go into the indoor facility and work a little bit, or hold a practice or something like that on the off day, we're gonna take care of them there.
So Gonzalez works a 2-1 count to Dolan. Saints trying to score their 3rd run here this top half of the 6th. 2-1. Gonzalez drives that to center, but Sandoval is there for a catch, and that will do it for the top of the 6th. We will head to the bottom of the 6th inning. The Saints do gain a run. Saints still trail 4-2. Coach Milan, thank you so much for joining in on the broadcast.
You're very welcome.
You're watching YouTube Live, official broadcasting network of Arroyo Seco Baseball.
Number 10, Ramon Gomez.
Bottom of the 6th inning here. The Saints trailing 4-2 now after an RBI double from Thomas Lovano to score Drew Cali. Travis Davis back on the mound here looking to rebound from his rough inning of work in the bottom half of the 5th inning. First pitch to Raul Sandoval is misses high, 1-0. Excuse me, Ramon Gomez. Grounds it to Cali, who will make the throw over at first for the quick out, 1 down.
Number 7, Zach Kamenko.
So something to take a look at right now. Morgan Allen has left the ball game. Wyatt Stapp in at second base. Hopefully Allen's not feeling that hip too much. He made that diving play to keep the ball in the infield. That was an inning or two ago, and the next play that he saw was a double play ball that he tried to throw and ended up throwing it over the head of Durkee. He had to leap up to make the grab. So hopefully Morgan Allen's okay. He's been on a tear recently. Now it'd be a huge piece to lose right before the playoffs.
So Zach Kamenkow will step in. 0 for 1 with the ground out RBI and reached first on a fielder's choice in his last appearance. The 0-1. In there for a strike, 0-2.
Kamenko has grounded out twice, both to the third baseman, Jason Gonzalez. Been early on a couple pitches. We'll see if the power-throwing Trevor Davis is enough speed for him to straighten that swing out, put it over the middle of the field.
The 0-2 delivery in the dirt. 1-2. Davis looks on, gets his sign. 1-2 delivery. Try to go with the heater, but does not fool Kamenkow. Evens the count at 2-2. Two delivery. Misses away, full count. So after an 0-2 count, Davis falls behind 3-2. McKinney on deck. The payoff pitch to Kamenkow. Misses in the dirt. Ball 4. So after being ahead of the count, he ends up walking
Number 20, Trent
Kamenkow. This will bring things up for Trent McKinney, who singled and flew out in his last at-bat.
Trevor Davis, once again, struggling with his control. Last time he started struggling, that was last inning. He gave up the home run to Baldovino, and then it was a back-to-back home run hit by Jacob Castro in the next at-bat.
First pitch misses way inside, 1-0. 2 runs, 3 hits for the Saints, 4 and no errors. 4 runs off 9 hits for the Oaks. The 1-0. Grounds it over to Stapp for 1. And Cali and McKinney will beat Cali's throw and will reach on a fielder's
Number
choice.
14, Tyler Odekirk.
Brings things up for Tyler Odekirk, who is 1 for 2 with a flyout and singled in his last at-bat. He was responsible of the spark back in the 5th inning. I say back as if that was way back. Just this past inning, sparked the 3-run inning for the Oaks. That pitch is in the first strike. Even count now at 1-1.
It's actually 0-1. I believe that was the first pitch. Scoreboard been a little behind a couple times so far this evening.
The 0-1 delivery. That pitch catches that outside corner for a strike. 0-2. The 0-2 delivery on the move. That ball gets away from Stapp's glove, so McKinney, credit for the steal on the ball, gets away from second base into center field. He will easily reach third.
Well, that's a rematch of the second inning when McKinney took off, tried to steal second base. Wyeth gunned him down. McKinney tried to do it again, and this time successful, ends up moving over to third base as well after the ball rolls into center field.
McKinney picks up his second stolen base on the season. 1-2 delivery. And Odekirk fouls that just above the Saints bullpen and well out of play. The 1-2. Got a window shopping there, catches that inside corner there, and that will do it. The Saints, the Oaks leave one stranded, but Davis is able to get out of this one without any damage. We will head to the top of the 7th inning with the Saints trailing 4-2. You're watching and listening to the Saints on YouTube Live, the official broadcasting network of Arroyo Seco Baseball. Top of the 7th here, the Saints trailing 4-2. New pitcher on the mound for the Oaks, number 18, Reese Matheson, out of Glendale Community College. He will face the bottom half of the lineup, the Saints, Russell, Wyeth, and Scott. So Evan Russell will step into the batter's box. 0-2 with a flyout and a strikeout. First pitch to Russell is down the third base line for a hit. That will easily be extra bases. So on the first pitch, Russell hits a double to right field. Brings things up for Jacob Wyeth. 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. Coming into today's action, Matheson in 20 innings has given up 23 runs, 10.35 ERA, struck out 23, walked 20 batters, gave up 30 hits. First pitch to Wyeth, fouls it behind home plate. 0-1. That's the fourth hit for the Saints coming into the top of the 7th inning. Trail 4-2. The 0-1 delivery. Wyeth hits that to center field, and that will escape Sandoval's glove. So Russell easily moves to third, and Wyeth will slide into second.
It'll be interesting to see what the official ruling on that one will be, whether it's a single or double off the bat
Number 12,
of
Christian
Wyeth.
Scott.
So far, it looks from the scoreboard, it's credited actually as an error.
And that is exactly what it'll be. It'll be an error, a two-bag error by Sandoval out there in center field. So Wyeth on second base thanks to an E8. Russell moving over to third base. No outs for Christian Scott.
First pitch to Scott misses high. 1-0. Scott 0 for 2 with the flyout and a pop out. Looking to tie up this ball game with Wyeth representing the tying run. Russell 90 feet away. 1-0 delivery. Catches that inside corner. Got most of the plate. 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Scott gets a piece of that and we'll head into the Saints dugout. Lovano charging that ball and throws it over to the Oaks dugout. Count 1-2. Slight breeze in center field. His American flag is slow moving just a bit. Russell on third. Wyeth at second. No outs. The 1-2 delivery. Misses away. Evens the count at 2-2. Saints already locked in for a playoff seed. They have reached the third thus far. 2-2 delivery. Scott draws a full count here with an empty base over at first. And Anthony Forte, the leadoff man, at the top of the lineup on deck. Saints started off the inning with a double from Russell and Wyeth advancing off a two-base error. That pitch misses high, so ball 4, and the bases are loaded for Anthony Forte, who walked, struck out,
Number
and
2,
flew out to
Anthony
right
Forte.
in his last appearance.
And Matheson out there on the mound, really struggling. He gave up that leadoff double to Russell. And of course, that error by Sandoval in center field. Now Christian Scott walking. Some bases loaded, no outs. And Matheson's going to have a chat with his coach. Of course, with the bases loaded, that means the go-ahead run is now on base. Tying run in scoring position, that's that's Wyeth on second. It was a very brief chat for the manager of the Oaks. He went out there, said about 10 words, maybe 15 max. And he'll head back to the dugout.
Coach David Solis, manager of the Conejo Oaks. So Anthony Forte will step in the batter's box, looking to at least tie up the ball game here. The bases loaded, nobody out. First pitch, and he fouls that back. 0-1.
Forte hasn't reached base since his walk in the first inning. He came around to score the very first run of the game. It may be a sign that the Saints shouldn't score in the top half of the first inning here against the Oaks. The time that reminds me of is when they blew a 6-0 lead. That was the third game of the season.
And Forte drives that to center field. So run will easily, Russell will easily score. Lost my tracking there as game's now 4-3 after McKinney called off Sandoval.
Number 20, Morgan Allen.
So Wyatt Stepp will step in to bat, taking the place of Morgan Allen, who left with what appeared to be a hip injury. Coming into today's action, Stepp's hitting .213 with 2 runs batted in.
Now hitting number 14, Wyatt Stapp.
9 singles, 7 walks, 7 strikeouts.
And once again, we hope that Morgan Allen's injury is not the reason for his removal.
Stapp, first pitch, swings over to right field. Long run for Lucas, but 1 pitch, 1 out for the Saints. Brings things up for Drew Cali, who singled in his last time up. 1 for 3, also flew out and grounded out. Wyeth still remaining at second, representing the tying run. First pitch to Cali, misses low, 1-0. Lovano on deck as Matheson steps off the mound for a quick sec. Two on, 2 outs. Cowley ahead with a 1-0 count. But swings and misses. Actually holds the foul tip. 1-1. Cameron Cowell was able to hold that ball in.
Well, last time Cali had a 1-1 count, that was last inning, the 6th inning. He singled and started a little bit of a rally, which brought him home thanks to that double off the bat of Lovano. So we'll see what he can do here with a 1-1 count and a runner in scoring position.
The 1-1 delivery just misses high and away. 2-1 count now. Wyeth at second. Scott at first. 2-1 count. 2 outs. Saints trailing 4-3 after a sac fly from Forte, scoring Evan Russell from third. 2-1 count. Was able to catch that corner, that top inside corner there for a strike. That will even the count at 2-2. Cali not happy with that one. Matheson looking to get out of this top half of the 7th with his team remaining in the lead. 2-2 delivery. Cali fouls that behind third base, just above third base side of audience. Time is now 6:36, which will mark us just at 2 hours. The 2-2 delivery. Cali fouls that back. Inning started off with Russell with a leadoff double. Wyeth reaching second of a 2-bag error from Sandoval. Christian Scott loading up the bases with the walk. Anthony Forte with the sac fly to score Russell. And Wyatt Stapp flying out to right. The 2-2 delivery misses high, full count.
And if you're Matheson, you cannot let this batter get away from you. Thomas Lovano on deck. You mentioned one of the 3 leading hitters in the CCL due to batting average. He's already driven home 1 run today. You don't want to give him a chance to drive in more with the bases loaded.
Payoff pitch, runners are going. Chopper over a shortstop. Baldovino with a routine play to get over at first to get the final out. But the Saints tag on a run off a sac fly from Anthony Forte. We will head to bottom of the 7th inning stretch time. The Saints now trailing 4-3. You're watching the Saints on YouTube Live, official broadcasting network of Arroyo Seco Baseball. Bottom of the 7th inning here. Saints trailing 4-3. New pitch on the mound for the Saints. Number 28, Jamie Robertson out of Emory University. Missed first pitch to Andrew Lucas. Misses low. 1-0. Lucas 1 for 3 with a single, a strikeout, and a flyout. Robertson wasting no time here as Lucas fouls that back.
Well, Robertson doesn't like to waste time at all on the mound. He's one of the quickest working Saints out there. And you'll see him throw pretty much as soon as the batter's ready.
1-1 delivery. That time Lucas fouls behind us, but nowhere near us. 1-2. Robertson, 16-6 innings. Gave up 13 runs, 8 earned, 4.32 ERA, 16 strikeouts, 8 walks, 1-2 delivery. Breaking ball misses high, 2-2. He'll face the top order. Top third. Chops it over to Gonzalez. Long throw. Durkay extends. And we'll get the first out.
Number 8, Gabe Baldovino.
Brings things up for Gabe Baldovino, the shortstop, who's having himself a game with going 2 for 3 with a flyout, a triple, and a 2-run blast in his last at bat. And that was back in the 5th inning. First pitch fouls that behind, just above, a few feet above the camera. 0-1. The 0-1 delivery. Breaking ball gets in there for a strike. 0-2. The 0-2 delivery misses way high. Baldovino, watch out, have to chase them outside out of the batter's box. 1-2. Got him swinging with the curveball. Gets away from Wyeth. He will throw over a first. But as Robertson does get the credit for the strikeout, but Baldovino reaches first, beating the throw from Wyeth.
Well, that's just unfortunate there, the ball getting away from Wyeth and then going on the other side of the umpire. So Wyeth had to kind of circle around him, try and locate the ball, and by the time he picked it up, the speedy Baldovino was already on base.
Brings things up for Jacob Castro, the designated hitter. 1 for 3 with a pop-out line-out and homered with a solo shot in his last at-bat. Also in the 5th inning, Baldovino on the run. Wyeth with a good throw, but Baldovino's called safe. Reaches with that left hand before Cowley, I guess, tagged him.
Well, it was a good slide there by Baldovino, getting that left hand on the outside part of the bag. And it was a bang-bang play. Umpire's closer than all of us, so we're going to have to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Castro falls behind here, 0-2. Baldovino in scoring position. The 0-2 delivery. Pops that up. Long run for Christian Scott, who will make the diving catch. Calls everyone off. He had a long way to go and gets the second out with another spectacular Sports Center top 10 worthy play here. 2 down.
What a play to hold on to the ball, let alone get to it. He had a long way to run, and the way he caught it, his glove was on the ground. He rolled over that wrist. The glove bent underneath him. Not entirely sure how he was able to squeeze onto that one, keep it in the glove. Either way, he did it. Got the second out of the inning.
Ryan Yamashiro, the first baseman, will step in. He takes the first pitch the inside for a strike. 0-1. Yamashiro struck out, singled, and flew out in his last appearance. Oaks trying to get insurance runs here. The 0-1 delivery. And he hits that to left field. And the Oaks will do that, just that, as that ball goes all the way to the wall. Russell playing a little bit outside of his normal zone. Easy double for Yamashiro. So the Oaks do get that run back, now up 5-3.
Really good piece of hitting, too. Waited on the breaking ball, got around on it, and put a nice little charge into the roping line drive down the line. Yamashiro showing why he's batting fourth for the Oaks.
Yamashiro, seen him once or twice for Cal Lutheran, is also pretty good hitter. First pitch gets away from Wyatt. Try to block that breaking ball in the dirt. 1-0 count to Raul Sandoval. Yamashiro advances, now 90 feet away.
Wyeth has had his work cut out for him behind the plate so far this game. The Saints pitching not on its best performance today.
That pitch misses. Hand side 2-0. Yamashiro with that RBI double picked up his 14th run batted in. Sandoval swings and misses at that fastball. 2-1. Two-one delivery. That ball is driven out to right field at the wall. Forte, that ball is gone. Forte will take a little climb. No, that ball is crushed and goodbye. A 2-run blast for Raul Sandoval. With 2 outs. Now the Oaks up 7-3 for Ramon Gomez, who grounded out his last time up.
Well, this all has to be tracked back to the drop third strike. If that drop third strike was converted into an out, there would have been 3 outs before Yamashiro even comes to the plate, let alone leaving one less runner on base for Yamashiro to drive in. Let's say that happens, and then the same exact thing happens next inning. It's only 2 runs as opposed to 3.
As Gomez pops that up, Russell will take a few steps in and will make the grab. But the Oaks score 3 runs at the bottom of the 7th inning off an RBI double from Yamashiro and a 2-run blast from Raul Sandoval. We will head to the top of the 8th inning with the Saints having to do a little bit work here, trailing 7-3. You're watching YouTube Live, official network of Arroyo Seco Baseball. Top of the 8th here, with the Saints now trailing 7-3. New pitcher on the mound for the Oaks, number 16, Kyle Nickel, out of Glendale Community College. He will face Lovano, Durkee, and Gonzalez, the middle part of the lineup. Lovano, the cleanup hitter. First pitch to Lovano, misses high, 1-0.
And Nickel doesn't necessarily throw anything super special out there on the mound. The best thing about him is his release point. He's got a little bit of a sidearm.
Lovano fouls that just above the Oaks dugout.
I want to backtrack. I don't mean little bit of a sidearm. I mean sidearm and even close to submarine. He dips below traditional sidearm.
The 1-1 delivery misses away. 2-1. Kyle Nickel on the year in 12 innings. Give up 10 runs, 7 earned, 5.1 ERA. Struck out 6. As misses that one again. Similar spot as his previous pitch, 3-1. Also walked 3 batters and gave up 15 hits.
The last time Nickel pitched against the Saints, he went 1 inning, gave up 4 hits and 3 runs. All 3 of those runs were earned. That was last Sunday, so exactly a week ago.
3-1 count. And Lovano hits that to left field. A little bit, not too big of a run there for McKinney. He will snag that for the first out.
Number 32, Pete Durkee.
Brings things up for Pete Durkee. Who's over 2 with the strikeout, was hit by a pitch and grounded out to second his last time up. First pitch, it's in there for a strike. 0-1 count. Saints looking to catch up here after giving up 3 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning. Durkee to the right field, down the first base line, but Yamashiro is right there with the Albert Pujols-like dig. Gets the second out.
A nice little flash of the leather over there at first base. Yamashiro showing why he's able to play both sides of the infield. We've seen him play third base a few innings. Now he's over there at first. Nice little dig.
Jason Gonzalez, the third baseman, will step in now for the Saints. Struck out, walked, and flew out to center in his last time up. Takes that one outside, 1-0. That pitch gets in there. That's another strike, 1-1. Top half, catches the top part of the strike zone. One-and-one delivery. Gonzalez swings and misses. That one actually holds on the foul tip. Cam and Cow. 1-2.
Any movement that you can throw out of that sidearm slot is absolutely exacerbated. I mean, you can throw a curveball from up top and get a nice 12-6 movement. You throw it from the sidearm and it's got some weird movement. It throws any batter off.
Even count now at 2-2. Evan Russell on deck. Saints got some action in their bullpen. And Gonzalez swings and misses at that high fastball on a 1-2-3 inning for Kyle Nickel. We were headed to the bottom of the 8th inning with the Saints still trailing 7-3. You're watching the Saints on YouTube Live, the official broadcasting network of Arroyo Seco Baseball. Bottom of the 8th here. Saints trailing 7-3. Jamie Robertson back on the mound to put in some more work here. He will face the bottom third of the lineup with Kamenkow, McKinney, and Odekirk. And as first pitch to Zach Kamenkow, the catcher's in there for a strike. 0-1. Kamenkow with an RBI groundout, walk. 0-1 delivery. Catches that low left side corner, glove side corner for a strike. 0-2. The 0-2 delivery. Try to get him with the heater high, but misses. 1-2. Goes back with the high fastball. Doesn't fool Kamenkow. Evens the count at 2-2. Chris Purnett in the bullpen for the Saints. 2-2 delivery. Chops it down the third, but foul and out of play. Count will remain at 2-2.
Looks like Burnett's ready to come into the game. I'm not sure if we'll see him unless Robertson gets into some trouble.
2-2 delivery. Grounds it over to short. Cali with the throw across his body. Got him. Little hard throw over a short, but Cali would easily get that over at first. 1 down.
It looks like there's going to be a pinch hitter here for Trent McKinney. That's Nico Lima.
Number 13, Nico Lima.
So Nico Lima pinch hitting for McKinney. Will step in. Takes the first pitch. Catches the outside corner for a strike. 0-1. Lima on the year hitting .353 with 3 home runs, 18 runs batted in, and 8 walks. Also has 9 stolen bases and was picked off once.
I mentioned that the Saints played they played the Oaks last Sunday in this same exact spot. In that game, Lima went 4 for 4, reaching base in all 5 plate appearances with a walk in the 9th inning. He led off the game with a double and then singled in his next 3 at-bats.
2-1 delivery. The good hitters count here for Lima. He drew up a 3-1 count. No.
Well, 3-1, you got to throw outside of the zone to him.
And he does so. Misses low. Ball 4.
Lima is probably the best hitter on the Oaks roster, and he's proven it all season long. Now they're going to get a pinch runner for him. As Alexander Briggs checks into the game as Lima's pinch runner.
Briggs out of Cal Lutheran University. Literally playing at home. It's like a few members of the Oaks. First pitch to Tyler Oderkirk. Misses away 1-0. Oderkirk 1 for 3 with a flyout, a single, and a strikeout. Oderkirk fouls that behind and out of play. Evens the count at 1-1. Briggs on the move and a pickoff attempt. Throws it. Durkee throws it a second, but nobody was there. Briggs advances, but he goes to third and gets tagged. So interesting play there, but the Saints do recover from that miscue from Durkee.
I think Briggs thought that it was a balk, and that's why he stood still at second base, then realized it was a live ball and for some reason decided to try and take off for third. Not entirely sure what the thought process was there. Either way, the Saints get lucky and get another out.
Oderkirk ahead in the count at 2-1. Grounded to third. Gonzalez with the play. Long throw. Gets them over first. We were ahead, so that would do it. After 8 innings, the Oaks still up 7-3. We will head to the top of the 9th inning. You're watching the Saints on YouTube Live, the official broadcasting network of Arroyo Seco Baseball. Welcome back here, top of the 9th inning at George Sparky Anderson Field at California Lutheran University in Thousand Oaks, California. New pitcher on the mound for the Conejo Oaks as Evan Russell swings and misses at that breaking ball, looked like a slider. Number 44 on the mound is Marshall Denton, who has gone 10 and through 3 innings. Gave up 3 runs, all earned, 2.53 ERA, 5 strikeouts, gave up 11 hits, and only walked 1 batter. Ahead in the count at 0-2 to Evan Russell, who flew out, struck out, and doubled his last time up. 0-2 delivery. Misses low, 1-2. He will face the bottom part of the lineup with Russell, Wyeth, and Scott. 1-2 delivery. Swings and misses. That breaking ball, slider I should say, Russell could not keep with that one. 1 down.
And that's back-to-back strikeouts for the Oaks. As Nickel got one to close out the 8th inning, now Denton gets one to open up the 9th. Nickel went 1 inning, gave up no hits, no runs, didn't walk anyone, and struck out 1.
First pitch to Jacob Wyeth as he drives that to left field. But Kenny over there.
Number 12.
With the
Christian
catch.
Scott.
2 quick outs here for Denton as Christian Scott will step in. 0 for 2 with the fly out, pop out, and walked in his last time up. First pitch misses away, 1-0. The 1-0 delivery. Chopper to Yamashiro. Good hustle from Denton, but could not hold on to the ball, so Scott will reach first base. I assume it will be credited as an error.
It'll be E1, I believe.
E1.
They're gonna charge the error to Denton, who dropped the ball trying to cover the bag.
So what should have been a 1-2-3 inning for the Oaks results in an E1 as Scott with excellent speed reaches first, and the top of the lineup will reset here with Anthony Forte stepping in. 0 for 3 with the walk, a strikeout, a fly out, and a sac fly. Also scored once as he takes his first pitch low. 1-0. Scott on the move. Chops it over to short. Baldovino with the throw. And that will do it. That will do it. So a quick
And that's the ball
inning
game with the final score
for
of
Denton.
7, Saints
That is ball
3.
game.
The Oaks play their final game of the season Tuesday at
The
County
Oaks
Barons in
hold
Austin.
on
Thank you for
to
coming and
win
supporting us this season and
7-3
Friday.
off 11 hits, 2 errors. Meanwhile, the Saints scored 3 runs, 4 hits, and 1 error. With the victory, the Oaks mathematically eliminated from out of the postseason run. Will move to 11-22 in CCL action, 13-22 overall, as both teams giving a good game, as this is the final matchup between both teams of the season. The Saints dropped to 18-16, 2016 overall, but have locked in the postseason seed. So today's action was, like we both mentioned earlier in the game, just good old classic summer baseball.
Overall, just a great game from the Oaks. They fell down early, fell down in the first inning, bounced back, and ended up coming out with the victory. And it was a much-needed victory for the Oaks.
So two games remaining for the Saints as they will continue the 8 and 9 innings of the suspended Santa Barbara game on Tuesday night, followed by the regular scheduled matchup, and then a non-league action, some non-league action against the San Diego Force on Wednesday before postseason play later on the week. Live from George Sparky Anderson Field at California Lutheran University in Thousand Oaks, California. Once again, Saints lose this one to the Conejo Oaks 7-3 in their season finale matchup. This has been Nicola Rojo alongside Matt Berner. Good night and enjoy the rest of your weekend.